Hey everyone, good morning and welcome to the Lioness Den. Look, we have been here 4 weeks in a row, which is a record for us, but we've been here 4 weeks in a row. Look, while we are coming in today, I want to try something new. Let's like and share this broadcast right now. So while I'm telling you about it, I'm going to also do the exact same thing. Let's go to our Facebook, our YouTube. Let's go on and like and share this broadcast right now. Take a moment as other people come in. Invite your friends. Invite your not friends. Invite someone to join the broadcast. Share this broadcast now, and let everyone know that we're live on the Lioness Den this morning. Okay. So take a moment and do that. Say hello. Come in the comments. Tell us hello. Tell us how you're doing. Even if you want to say where you're watching from. But join us today as we go into the Lioness Den. I speak quickly, but I am excited today. I'm super excited today to have one of my very best friends to help us close out this Mother's Day month. I today have Miss Ronnie Maddox. Guys, if you have been in Maryland, if you've been to the Church of Redeemer of the Lord, now she's in Florida, you know Ronnie Maddox. And today, Ronnie and I are going to sit down and talk about a mother's story. So sit back, relax, get your pens and papers out. You might want to take notes and enjoy the Lioness Den. Look, we are back. We are back. We are back. We are back. And without further ado, I will introduce to some and present to others my good friend, my one of my besties. I almost want to say road dog, Ronnie.
We could be that
Miss Ronnie. Yeah, Miss Ronnie Maddox, because we done all of it, girl, haven't we?
Yeah. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Guys, Ronnie and I have been friends for, oh my gosh, what, Ron? It's been about
More
at
than
least
30
20
years.
years.
It's
Yeah,
been more than
yes.
30, be
It's been
honest.
more than 30. Don't say how old
No.
it is. She might get upset if you say how old she is. But I think it's been more, I know it's been more than 20 years, Ronnie.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been about 27 years.
About 27 years. How many
Yeah.
people can say they've had a good friend, a close friend who has stayed with them for 27 years? It's amazing, Ronnie. I haven't even thought about it. It's been
I
that long, but it's
know.
just like it just flows.
Right. 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 Right.
Ronnie, I've given you an introduction, but if you would introduce yourself to the audience, I would greatly appreciate it.
Hello, everybody. My name is Ronnie Maddox. I'm from Baltimore, Maryland, been there all my life, and just recently moved here to Pierce, Florida. Um, my home church in Baltimore was Church of the Redeemer of the Lord. Shout out to Church of the Redeemed. Bishop Stokes, I love you, man. Still love my Church of the Redeemed family. Love y'all so much and miss y'all so much. As well as my natural family, my children, my grandbabies. Lord, I can't wait to get back up there and see y'all. And my sisters, my brothers, my nieces, my nephews, my sister-in-laws, all of y'all. I love all y'all. Know I love y'all. And now I'm here in Fort Pierce. I've recently joined a really nice ministry. It's called Resurrection Life Family Ministries. And the pastors there are Apostle Trevor Banks, his wife, Pastor Martha Banks, and I'm loving it. I'm getting some good word, Bishop Stokes. I'm getting some good word. And recently joined the praise team, and it's been a little bit of a journey. It's been a little bit of a journey. I'm enjoying myself though. I'm enjoying myself. I love the Lord. I'm saved. I love Him.
Amen.
God is my rock, and I'm gonna stay with the Lord. All right.
Eh, all right. We know we know Sister Ronnie.
Yeah.
We know. Look, Sister Ronnie is a mom of three. Yeah.
Yes.
You have
Yes.
three children, and how many grandkids now, Ryan? You have a, I don't want to say it like
10.
that.
10
Yeah.
grandkids and one on the way. And I had a dream last night that my oldest daughter told me she was pregnant. I'm like, Lord, okay.
Well,
Uh,
they said multiply. She's multiplying.
right.
You did her, and you had three. So if she's pregnant again, she is definitely multiplying it.
We know because she got the most of the grandkids. She's got
Hey,
7 right now. She got
hey,
7.
hey, hey. She want to make sure that you don't go without. My grandmother used to say, my mom had 6 kids, and she said she had them so that when something happened to her, she would have someone to take care of her.
Come on
So,
here.
so
At least one. At least one
you
of them.
at least one of them
Right.
will
Right. That's how it
come
happens.
to
At least
you.
one of
Yeah,
them.
yeah. At least one of them will have you when you need them to. So there
Right.
you go, Ron. There you go.
Yeah.
We're here to talk about a mother's story, and we're both moms. You of grown children, me of a teenager. As you know,
Mm-hmm.
your goddaughter.
Yeah.
That's how
Yeah.
close we are. She's my
Yeah.
daughter's godmother.
Yeah.
And so let's talk about the journey of being a mom, because that
Ooh.
is a journey. I mean,
Oh,
ladies, you're watching. If you're a mom, you know the journey. If you're not a mom, if you're an aunt, if you're a godmother, let's be honest, it's not really about being a natural mom, because we mother as women so many times, so many
yeah.
that our kids are not our kids are not. You know, Tia said,
Yeah.
"Pray for us with these teenagers."
I know it.
Absolutely,
It's
girl.
over for me. Thank
Yeah,
you, Jesus.
you sure? I mean, Bob might want to
What
try
a
one more
teenager.
time.
What you say?
Bob might want to try one more time. This is why I love Sister Ronnie. Her
Can't say
face is so
nothing.
expressive.
I can't. That's the thing. This face. No,
Her
ain't no
face is
more
so
coming. Ain't no
expressive.
more. Ain't no more
No
coming
more.
from this side. No,
Not that,
no.
okay. So you done. Okay.
I'm
But yes,
totally done. I got grandkids that are teenagers. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. And I
yeah,
and I,
yeah.
I tell them they like, oh, okay. They call me Nana. They like, okay, Nana. I got one granddaughter, my oldest granddaughter. She wants to go to Korea to never been hardly anywhere in her life, but she wants to now go to Korea for college. And I'm like, oh my God.
Korea.
Yes. Yes.
Wow. Wow. That's
She is
big.
totally into the Korean culture right now. She's learning everything that she possibly can because she seriously wants to go to Korea for college. But we've kind of talked her down to do at least 2 years here in the United
Okay.
States,
Okay. Okay.
and then maybe, we would like her to mature a little bit more and continue to research, because we don't know where this
Yeah.
world is going. The world is going it's going a little off some
Of
other,
course. Yeah.
so we want
But
her to take her time and really think about this Korean thing.
I say the Maddoxes and the Maddoxes and the, what is it? Maddox
Ooh,
and Nickel.
Nicholson's
Yeah, Nicholson's. They
Nicholson.
going international now. They're going international. So just go ahead and be international, Ron.
You never know. Her
Yeah.
determination, I don't know. She's got a determination, so we'll see.
Hey, but that's the thing. Our kids usually they want to do something that we have not even thought of.
Right,
And
right.
so that, how many times did we think of career when we were going to
No,
college?
indeed. No,
I,
indeed.
I mean, and even when we thought of going to another country, we talking about like Jamaica, somewhere nice, sunny,
With other people,
with other people. We're not trying to
not
go
by
by ourselves.
ourselves.
And so it's amazing that she wants to do something, that
Yeah,
grand. That is great. That is awesome.
yeah.
Um, yeah. International travel is amazing. That
Yeah.
means
Well, I've been
caring.
talking to people.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I've been talking
Absolutely.
to people, and a gentleman told me that if she goes to Korea, that's one of the safest places she could ever be. I'm like, really?
And think
So
of
we,
it, she's willing to try something that we didn't even, I don't think sometimes we had the courage
yeah,
to
yeah,
even think of it. And I think that's what Tia was saying. We didn't even have the courage to um, step out and do something so amazing as going to a whole nother country. Ryan, don't try
yeah.
to read it, okay? Don't try to read it,
I
okay?
know. Am I?
It's
Do
gonna
I
be
got the time to read or see face? I think I do. Yeah, I'm sweating
yeah.
and everything.
No, she said they definitely don't have the apprehensions that we had. Yeah, they
No,
are really,
no, they don't
really,
have no
really
fear.
out there. They don't
Yep.
have that, oh, let us cringe. And
No.
my daughter has this, she's gonna do everything all the
Yeah.
time. And so it's like when I was growing up, I was in like a box almost to what
Oh
I was gonna do. And she's
yeah.
totally out the box. She's
Yeah.
totally just,
Yeah.
if it can be done and within reason, she's definitely, as you
Yeah.
know, Ronnie,
Yeah.
going to do it. My daughter has on eyelashes. Now let's talk
Come.
about the eyelash story real quick. Remember the eyelash story, Ronnie. My daughter has on eyelashes that I would not buy, of course, that she went and got off of Amazon. And she didn't do like, a lot of people they get the one strip and put it on.
Will she
She
get it?
bought the little pieces that she
Individual.
built, individuals that she built her own.
Oh, I
So when
gotta
you
see
see
them.
when you've seen her in the eyelashes, when you seen her
Oh, that
before,
was it. It looked good.
that
She did it herself.
she did that herself.
Oh, that looks good.
Now me, I have no want or need for eyelashes. Okay, let's be honest. I'm not looking for eyelashes, but this
I
child,
like eyelashes.
this child has gone into the eyelashes. I was trying to get away from being a church lady. She is 100% a church lady. She just we have convocation coming up.
Uh-huh.
TSA side hustle. We have convocation coming up mid-June. And honey, mid-June, she has fascinator hat to wear. She has
Come on
heels.
here.
She getting ready for convocation. I was trying to get away from getting ready for convocation. Let me tell you how she running right to it. She want to make sure
See
she look
that?
right and she is done up for convocation because it's
See
important
that?
that she makes it
Mm-hmm.
into convocation.
Mm-hmm.
She right. It is
Mm-hmm.
amazing the difference in the generations, though. I
Oh,
mean,
it is. Totally. Totally. They don't have no fear like we did. Like the young lady said, they're not apprehensive at all. They're ready to take the journey. They don't care what it takes or how much
yep,
it costs.
yep. Or how much? Well, they don't have to worry about how much it costs because usually they asking us to cover the cost for
Right.
them, and so it's
Right.
like money is no object because mom,
No.
dad, grandma,
No.
whoever, somebody is
No.
going to fund.
Right.
They're gonna fund my exploits. That's what's gonna happen. They're gonna
Right.
fund my exploits.
Right.
It's so
Right.
amazing because we came from a generation where we were like, we don't wanna, we're gonna do
Look,
we're
let
gonna
me tell
stay
you something.
here. But that's not how
Let
it
me
is
tell you
now.
something. My mother told us we were poor. The thing I thought we're poor. That thing hurt me to my heart. I mean, for years after she
Yeah.
told me, I'm like, we are poor. Oh my God. I was a kid when she told me, but I mean, to the point where when it came like to prom time, I didn't even ask her if I could go. Because in my mind, I'm thinking, we poor. She can't, my mother can't afford that. And I watched my mom as a teenager.
Yeah.
She was a single parent with 3 kids. She worked and she paid bills. I mean, I didn't feel like we were struggling, but I'm sure she was. I'm sure it was difficult. But
Mm-hmm.
I never asked her, could I go to the prom? And years later, she was like, why didn't you go to your prom? And I said, because I didn't think you could afford it. She was like, you were supposed to ask me. I was like, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
I thought we were just poor. I just knew we was just poor. What was I asking you for? I wasn't gonna ask you for anything.
Yeah. Absolutely. We're gonna ask to go to the prom, and last week we ate oodles and noodles and pork and beans all week. I'm not
And
gonna
I knew
ask
how much
you.
the prom cost. I was like, oh well, I know I can't go. I already
Well,
knew.
see, if Dr. Ash was my mom, I probably wouldn't have asked either.
Hmm.
Because Dr.
Well,
Ash was Dr.
my
Ash.
sister didn't have no apprehension. My sister went to about 2 or 3 proms.
That's
I was
Kim.
looking at her like, well, why didn't I ask? Could I go to my
And Kim
sister
is
living
fabulous, no? Kim is fabulous. Kim, we
so I
love
was like,
you. I know you're probably watching. We love you, Kim.
yeah,
We gonna
yes,
call you,
indeed.
girl. Yeah, no,
She
but
had no
for real,
apprehension. Went to her
for
prom.
real. That's the
Yes,
thing. When we were
indeed.
growing up, we really did have that where we had those moms. My mom, she worked like she was the jack of all trades, they used to say, and the master of none. You know how they have that? Since my
Mm-hmm.
mother was
Mm-hmm.
she was a seamstress, she was a
Mm-hmm.
hairdresser, she was an auto
Mm.
mechanic. Okay.
Really?
She worked night, she was a CNA. She worked nights as
Wow.
the night person at the desk in an apartment building. You know, the desk
Okay.
clerk who's my
Okay.
mother worked a million jobs.
Yeah.
She would crochet,
Yeah.
okay? She would she
Mm-hmm.
would she would change your oil. She would do all of
Wow.
that. Understand?
Wow.
When I say she was a mechanic, she went to school to be a mechanic. She went to school to be a seamstress. Okay, she was apprentice at the hairdresser in a hair salon. So she did everything to make sure that we had because she was a single mom.
So did my
And
mother.
it
Mm-hmm.
and it was this was the thing. I have to provide no matter what
Right.
because I'm a single
Right.
mom.
Right.
And you're married now, but you understand because there was a time when you weren't married. And I'm
That's
not
right.
married right now. So I'm a single mom. And so you know what
Yeah.
we do.
Yeah.
Let's be
Yeah.
honest, what we do. Because we
Yes,
do
indeed.
quite a bit to make sure
Oh yeah.
that they got eyelashes
Mhm.
and church hats,
Right. Right.
eyelashes and
Right.
church hats so they can go to
Hmm.
congregation.
Hmm. Mm,
Yeah.
mm, mm.
Um, and that
Man.
takes us to, the no, she didn't see it because I don't do that. She said Julia got it honest.
Oh yeah, yeah, no, no, Lydia, you under that fashionista like that.
No, I wasn't the fashionista. Now my sisters. Now let's be honest.
Really?
Uh oh, Rachel, and that's probably what Tia saw. Rachel wears the really tall heels, and she's very.
Mm-hmm.
And Esther is
Mm-hmm.
very fashionable. It's
Mm-hmm.
me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably the
Mm-hmm.
only old lady in the bunch, so it's okay. I'm getting
Well,
better,
not now.
y'all. Look at my
You're not talking about
glasses.
now. You ain't talking
I'm
about
gonna say,
now.
look at my glasses. I'm getting better, y'all. I'm getting better.
That's right. That's right.
But no, when we started talking about this particular subject of a mom and what a mom would do, we were discussing the story in the Bible about the Shunammite woman, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
We were
Mm-hmm.
talking about
Mm-hmm.
that and how that a lot of us are like her. She 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 had this son, one when the prophet originally came to her, she didn't have a son. He asked her what she
Right.
needed. She said, I don't
Right.
need anything.
Right.
And his armor bearer, for lack of better words, told the prophet, well, I didn't see a child. And so
Mm-hmm.
the prophet said to her, next year you're going to have a kid. Then after she got
Mm-hmm.
this kid, the kid dies.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And she makes it back, she goes beating it to the prophet. She tells the young man who's taking her in the carriage, spare, slack not, because
Mm-hmm.
she needed to get there because she needed to save this kid. And
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of what brought us to this whole Mother's Day series this year, guys. Just so you know,
Mm-hmm.
Ronnie and I talked
Mm-hmm.
January or February about this, and
Mm-hmm.
and that's how we came up with this topic. She was actually very instrumental in coming up with a mother's story because we were talking about how mothers will knock down walls and leap over troops to save her kid.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
Ryan, with that being said, tell us a little bit about you as a mom.
Mm. When I think of myself as a younger mother, um, trying to raise my children, it was difficult for me. I always worked, um, and so I worked in the childcare industry,
Mm-hmm.
and I never made a whole lot of money. I mean, I may have been in that industry for about 17 or 18 years. Um, and most of that time, I raised my kids. I was able to take them to work with me, and that was the good part about working in childcare, because I could take my kids to work with me. They went to school from the daycare. They came back to the daycare. We all went home together, that kind of thing. But as far as providing for them, it was very tough. It was tough because I couldn't afford a whole lot of luxury. You know what I mean? Christmas would come, and I would usually have to spend bill money to make a decent Christmas. And in my
Mhm.
mind, I felt like these kids didn't, I didn't think they liked the Christmas that I provided. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
For me, it was a struggle. I loved being a mom. I loved my kids, and they turned out really good. I'm proud of all three of them. Um, but in raising them, it was a little tough, but we made it through. I mean, we made it, like you said, ate beans and hot dogs or oodles and noodles quite a bit. I mean, we did good because when they were younger, I was able to get, some assistance from the government. So we at least ate good for about 2 weeks. The other
Right.
2 weeks, the other 2 weeks was like a struggle. You know what I mean? Because you had
Yeah.
to spend your money to purchase food, and um, it was a little difficult. And sometimes kids, they're gonna tell you the truth. They're
Uh-huh.
not gonna, why we always eat noodles and noodles? Why we can't have what Jimmy down the
Somebody
street
else
has?
having. Hmm.
You know? And I would tell them, you know what, you really need to be grateful for what you have, because you're lucky that you're eating food. There's some
Right.
children who are not eating anything. You know what I mean? But we made it through. All of my children graduated high school. None of them have been to jail. They're
Amen.
all working adults. So it worked out pretty good. And the whole time I was in church, I prayed
Mhm.
my way through the whole entire time. The whole
Absolutely.
time.
And
God
that's one of
was
the,
able to sustain us,
yeah.
just like that Shunammite woman.
Just like this. That's how I was about to go there.
Just
So we went
like
right
this
back.
Shunammite. Huh. She went to that prophet and she was like, look, I didn't ask you for this child. You gave me this child. So since I have had this child, I need you to do something. And he went, and the child came back to life. And
Yeah.
that's what kind of God we serve. He helps us to sustain.
Yeah, absolutely. And that prayer thing is big, especially for us as moms. Um, no matter what we believe, some people say, "Well, I don't believe in God." There is a prayer that we're praying when we're going through for our
Yeah,
children.
yeah,
We're
yeah,
on our knees. This
yeah,
is Pentecost season this week, and everybody's doing
yeah,
Pentecost. But I
yeah,
think moms, when they talk about prayer, because prayer is a big part of Pentecost, how they went up and they tarried until he came.
yeah,
But
yeah.
we tarry regularly, and we're tarrying for him to bring something for us that we may be able to take care of our kids. When you were
Right.
talking about that public assistance thing and the
Yeah,
2 weeks of
yeah.
the man, Ryan, man, my mother,
Girl.
because we were on public assistance growing up,
Mm-hmm.
and my mother
Mm-hmm.
would let us pick whatever we want for that first 2 weeks. Oh, we would have, let me tell you, we would do shrimp
Yeah.
salad and all types of
Oh
stuff. And then she
yeah.
would buy big boxes of cereal, and she would
Yes.
buy big bags of potatoes. And
Yeah.
she would have cans. She would go and get the groceries, and she would buy, how to hit a case of corn, the case of
Yeah.
string bean.
Yeah.
She would buy the
Yeah.
case of everything, so that when those first 2 weeks went by,
Yeah. You
we
had
had
that other
something to
food.
still
That's
to
right. That's
maintain us
right.
through the month. That's how
That's
the
right.
mother thinks. They let you go ahead and do whatever you want at the beginning, but let
Mm-hmm.
me let you know
Mm-hmm.
that when the rubber meets the road, we coming right back to what you need, because a lot of times
Right.
in those first 2 weeks we kind of
Right.
junk it up. We
Yeah.
got the
Yeah.
chip, we got this,
Yeah.
and look, and she had this thing: when it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah.
Don't come back to me and ask me for no more, because ain't no more to give you.
Hmm. Hmm.
And look, and she had public assistance, but we used to have a church down the street, Ronnie. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
if you remember the Catholic churches used to go to the Catholic church. They would give you a
Mm-hmm.
block of cheese.
Mm-hmm.
They would
Mm-hmm.
give
My
you
mother used to do that too.
a big
Mm-hmm.
box of white milk. It was the
That
box of
powder
milk,
milk. Woo!
that powder milk. They would
Yeah.
give you the can with the cow on it or the chicken on it, and it was canned meat. You had a cow, a chicken, and a pig, and that would be on it. And it would just say pork, beef, chicken. That's all you. That's what you got. And mommy would put those things on the shelf so that after our 2 weeks was up, that's where you was going. Tia said the food bank. The churches had the
That's
food
right.
bank. Yes,
That's
ma'am.
right. That's
And
right.
so the mothers, that's what they would do to help us get through. They would take
Mm-hmm.
us to these places because we didn't always have it, and they were doing their best to get us
Right.
through. And we've
Right.
done it too. When we
Yeah.
are, you know, um, when we are going through. When I was
Mm-hmm.
you were
Mm-hmm.
around, and I was raising my siblings, the younger ones, when
Mm-hmm.
my mom got sick,
Yeah.
and we had to go
Yes.
on public assistance, so we had food stamps,
Yeah.
and I was doing it
Yeah.
the same way I was taught.
That's
The same
right.
way I was
That's
taught.
right.
Y'all can
That's
get some
right.
the first 2 weeks, but we need to buy 5 cases of string beans, 5 cases of corn, because they was like 33 cents a can. That's what we
Right.
you put
Right.
all that in the house. And
Right.
that's one of the ways that I was introduced to your mother, if you
Oh,
remember.
yeah. Food bank. Yes.
The food
Yes.
bank.
We headed that
That
food bank. Yes.
Dr. Ash,
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Ash said,
Mm-hmm.
come and get some food. Yes, they
That's
taught us
right.
how to make a lot from a little, Tia. You got
That's
that.
right. That's
They taught us
right.
we could have like, yeah, yeah. But I met
Hmm.
your mom
Hmm.
at the food bank, and my
Hmm.
favorite story about Dr. Ash is I wasn't gonna come to the food bank, right? I don't know if you remember that one week. You said, Lydia, let's go. Mommy got stuff. We're gonna go up here and get something. And I
Yeah.
went because you picked up the stuff from the food bank on Greenmount Avenue when it was over there. And we
Mm-hmm.
went over there to that building and we put the stuff in the car and we brought it in for your mom. And
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, I'm ready to go around. And Dr. Ash said, stop being so proud. Come on and get some of this stuff, girl.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And I did need it. I had the
Mm-hmm.
kids, so I needed it. But I
Mm-hmm.
was like, I ain't
Mm-hmm.
gonna get nothing. I'm just helping Ronnie to get this for her mother. Man, she
Mm-hmm.
let me know. Get on in here. Get on in
That's
here and
right.
get yourself a bag and
Mm-hmm.
get some stuff
Mm-hmm.
for them children because I know
Mm-hmm.
it's children at your house.
That's right.
So
That's right.
Dr.
That's right.
Ash was amazing. Ronnie,
Yeah.
what were the biggest lessons you learned from Dr. Glorious Ash? And you know why I'm saying it that way.
You better, because she told you.
Because she
I'm
told me,
Dr. Glorious
Dr. Glorious
Ash. Yeah, she
Ash.
told you who she was. Right.
Yes, ma'am.
But let me tell you, my mother, I can immediately when you said that, the biggest lesson I learned from her was she would say, all you got to do is have faith. And everything that went down in my life, it was, do you believe?
Mm-hmm.
She would always make me come back to, if I said, I don't think I can, do you have faith? Do you believe? And I'm like, I do. I believe. I have faith. You know, she was the one that was instrumental in when I got my first house. Because I was like, I don't think they're gonna give it to me. I don't, she was like, yes, right. And she was like, I read that with one of my
I
eyes.
told you stop trying to read, Ronnie.
She was like, look, and I think what happened, they needed me to make more of an income. So she told me,
Mm-hmm.
she said, look, we're gonna write this letter that you get so and so amount of money from XYZ. And I was like, do you think that's gonna work? She was like, gave me the eye. Come on, let's write this letter. Okay. I write the letter. I go there with my pay stubs. The lady looked at the letter. She was like, oh, okay. She looked at my pay stub. She said, oh, okay. She said, all right. So I'm going to give you, she just went on with, you're going to be at 26, but out of that circle. I was like, I got the place. She was like, yeah, you got the place. Yeah, you're fine. I was like, oh, my mother told me. And when I went to get a car, do you have the faith? That faith was that foundation for me. Still
Mm-hmm.
is. Even when my mother left this earth, she
Yes.
told me, she said, Ronnie, I'm not worried about anything. She says, I got the victory. And I'm looking at her like, wait, okay. Okay. I didn't, I knew that things were happening with her, but when she actually left us, I thought back on the things that she said. I got the victory. I've got the, so that was her faith. Whether
Yes.
she live or whether she die, she has the victory.
Yeah.
So, hey, faith, that was the foundation. That was one of the main ingredients that she taught me as a young mother, even up until now.
Yeah, it is amazing at the faith that they have. When mommy was on her way out, she told us, I'm going home. And you know this story, Ron, because you was around. I'm going home. And me and my sister was trying to figure out, you going home? So you're like, you going to Esther's house? Coming to my house?
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm going
Mm-hmm.
home. And when I
Mm-hmm.
understood what she was saying, I got upset, but she was happy.
Mm,
You know, it's so
mm.
amazing. She was happy and I was upset because I don't want you to go,
Right.
but you already know where you're going. So you're happy
Right.
that you're getting to go.
Right. Right. Right.
And we're sad because we want you to stay. We
Right.
want you to stay here with us. And mommy was so, she was so in tune that she didn't leave until my sister stayed like around the clock. And my sister went home. They told her, say, she's in recovery. She's okay now. You go home. My sister was gone for less than 10 minutes and she was gone. They called us.
See that?
Esther said, I just got home. But when we went back to the hospital, Ronnie, this was
Mm.
the crazy part. I said, if I could have smacked her back to life that day, I would have. My mother used to have this smirk she would get on her face.
Uh-huh.
She would call it the cat who caught the canary. That's what she used
Mm-hmm.
to call it. The cat who caught the canary is what she would say. And when we got in there, her face had that smirk like, I got y'all. Because if y'all had
Mm.
stayed around the clock, and this is how I took it, y'all. This is my personal rendition of how I took it when I saw her face. If y'all had
Right.
stayed here, I would have had to stay here for y'all because y'all wouldn't have been able to take me
Deal
leaving
with
while
it.
you were in the
Mm-hmm.
room. So as
Mm-hmm.
soon as
Mm-hmm.
y'all left, I
Mm-hmm.
got you.
Mm-hmm. That's
I
when I
got you.
left. That's when I
I left.
walked out. That's when I
And I
left the
said to
room.
her,
That's right.
I said, let me tell you something, sis. If it was a such thing as smacking you back to life right now, I ain't never smacked you before, but today I will smack you back to life with that smirk on your face. It was hilarious, and we
Woo.
actually all knew what the smirk meant, even in
Yeah.
our sadness, you know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and you went through this recently, and for
Yeah.
us, for me, more than 17 years now. But
Yeah.
it's the
Yeah.
same feeling that you get. It's like, I want them to stay, I want them to be here, and they
Right.
giving you the talk of it's gonna be
Right.
all right, you're gonna be good.
Mm-hmm.
And we,
Yeah.
no,
Yep.
sis,
Yep.
no, sis. I'm used to
Mm-hmm.
picking up the phone saying, hey, mom, XYZ is going on. How do I
Right.
fix this?
Right.
You telling me I'm gonna be
Right.
okay?
That's right.
Man. Tia say her mom put her shoes on and had a
Wow.
smile too. See, that's the
Wow.
thing. Tia, they get
Wow.
us. They get us like that because they
Wow.
smiling and we sitting there going, "Don't go, don't
I
go."
know.
You
I
know.
know.
And then my aunt had the nerve to walk in Ronnie and say, "Y'all, if she could come back, she wouldn't." That was the next one that upset my nerves.
She said she
Sis,
wouldn't.
she wouldn't because where she is now is so much greater than where she left. And I
Come
was
on
like,
here.
sis, you know, I know that the Holy Ghost and all that works within you, but we're gonna ask you, you know. Aunt Nika didn't care though. Aunt Nika, she went right on speaking in tongues, right in the room. Right in the room. She went on speaking in tongues. Like God had just walked in and she had to give all the praise at that very moment. Look, one of my
Lordy.
girlfriends was there trying to go up. My sister turned to her and said, you better not. She only one can come in here and speak in tongues at this moment. You better shut up. But Ronnie,
Girl.
that is how it is. We love them and they teach us such great lessons.
Yeah. Yeah.
Until, you know, it's like, what do we do without them? And then we begin to find that they haven't gone anywhere because they stand up within us in
Yes.
our
Yes.
situations.
That's the
And when we're
truth.
talking to our children, we hear their
Hmm.
voices come out of our
Yeah.
mouths.
Oh
We
yeah.
hear
Tell the truth.
their more their voices.
Teach us.
Rachel. So now you know who told them to shut up. It was Rachel. She got a comment and she shut up too. But yeah,
Um,
we open our mouths and their words come
and you
out.
can hear it, can't you?
You can hear, you know, I hear Dr. Ash all the time. I tell you, all right, Dr. Ash, because Dr. Ash was
You hear from me.
a yeah. She, let me tell y'all, if you had to know Dr. Ash to understand that when Ronnie begins to speak, her mother completely takes over and speaks out of her mouth. Just the diction and the straight to it, that is all Dr. Ash. It comes straight out. It's like, okay, Ron. And then I had to remember Dr. Ash. It's okay because it's Dr. Ash, and that's what she did. But it's always the truth. And that's the thing.
You
It's
don't want to
always
hear
the
that,
truth.
but yeah, it is.
Yeah. It's always the truth, you know? It's the truth, and it's from a place of love, even when we don't understand.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And I think it sometimes gives, I don't know about you, I'll ask you, it gives me comfort a lot of times. Tia said we can't get away from it. It flies right out.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, man, it does. It does. It's that truth that comes out of our mouths that we don't even realize it. We're not doing it on purpose. It is just happening. It's just happening. And it's just so much truth a lot of times that you can't even, sometimes I say, let me catch it. But you can't catch it many times because it's just out there. It's already out there. And we find ourselves saying to our children what they said to us. We may not say it the exact same way, but it's the same.
Right.
It means the same thing. And we're teaching them the same faith. Because I look at your girls and they have learned. I mean, Javon and Deanna, my God, they are you all wrapped up in like this big ball.
Girl, I was looking at a video of myself the other night. And I said, oh my mannerisms, the way I was moved, I thought I saw Jovan. Then when I was singing, I was squinting my eyes like this. I thought I saw Deanna.
I know you saw Deanna.
Wow. I said, both of my daughters, I see them in me on the TV. I'm like, oh my God. Deanna, I didn't think Deanna looked nothing like me. I always said, oh, she's her father. She said, we know she has her father's attitude. What's the word? She acts like her dad.
Characteristics of her dad.
Right. But I never knew that the way I was moving my face, I'm like, oh my God, that is Deanna right there. Like right here.
Ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Both
when they
them.
open their mouth, though, I mean, seriously, I talked to both of them when we came to your mom's homegoing. And when I tell you that talking to each of them, I could hear you.
Yeah. Ain't that something?
It was so funny. All the way down to Javon was telling me about her husband, and I was like, listen to Ronnie talking about Bobby. That's how serious it was. I was like, listen to Ronnie talking about Bobby right now because she literally sounds just like you. It was so funny. And Anna not only has developed your mannerisms, but she has developed your body. And Javon and I were talking about she finally got the family body. All of her life, she never had the family body.
Right.
But it is amazing. I mean, people tell me Jules look like me. And I always say, you haven't seen her father. I said, Jules is you see Rachel, right?
I said I'm gonna ignore her. I'm ignore that. But she's telling the truth, though. She's telling
Bobby
the truth.
gonna fix everything.
Everything, and still tries to,
But no, Julia, people will say Julia looks like me, and I always say, well, you haven't seen her dad. Well, you haven't seen her dad.
She looks like the both of you, though. I see the both of you in her.
Well,
I do,
Sister Ronnie. I appreciate it.
I do.
I like that. I like that she has mannerisms like mine.
Yes.
I really love that she picked up mannerisms like me. Nothing against him. He has what he has. But I like that her makeup and how she carries herself.
Oh, she's growing up into a very fashionable young lady.
Yeah, she definitely has my mannerisms. She definitely is when it comes to don't speak to Rachel. Don't speak to Rachel. When it comes down to it, the things that I do, she do, and she always wants to know what I'm doing. And so she follows that. That's amazing. And that's how our kids are. And it's wonderful. But I will tell you this, Ron. I love it when someone says she looks like me. It makes my day. Let me tell you all, Facebook, YouTube,
Oh,
a TikTok. When somebody says she
mhm.
looks like me, I'm like, thank you so much. And I didn't stop saying you ain't seen a father because I used to say you haven't seen a father,
Right,
and and let me show you a picture. Now I don't do that no more
right,
because
right,
thank you. She does look like me,
right.
and thank you
Mhm.
because this is the thing. We are nurturing, especially our girls, in such a way
Yeah,
that we want them to pick up our characteristics
yeah,
of
yeah,
being a
yeah.
godly woman.
Uh-huh, uh-huh,
We want our
uh-huh.
sons. I don't have a son, but Ronnie got a son, y'all. To
Yeah,
pick up,
yeah.
Tia got a son. She on here to pick up
Mhm,
the characteristics of being
mhm.
godly men. And
Men.
so we want to
Mhm,
share with them those things like, hey, even if you're not in church every day, we know that you
mhm,
have it in you.
mhm, mhm. Oh, it's
And the Bible
there.
say, yeah, the Bible says it won't go away. Train them up,
That's right.
and when they old, it's
That's
coming
right.
right back. And we see it,
That's
don't we,
correct.
Ron?
That's true. That is so true.
We see it.
Mm,
We see it. I look at
mm,
my brothers, and my brothers, both of them, they have that. They are men. They were on a few
mhm.
weeks ago, Ron. They are men, and they
I
said
saw that. That
that
was hilarious as ever. But go
yes,
ahead.
always. But they were saying that a woman taught them how to be the man that they
Right.
are.
Right.
And that if you are a single mom, teach your son to be the man that you would
Right.
want in your life. And they were
Right.
saying that we taught them. That was a great honor, Ronnie. I have to tell you, I
Mhm.
don't know who else saw
Mhm.
that episode, but it was a great honor for
Mhm.
them to say that a woman
Yeah.
taught them how to be a man because we think if it's not a man in the house, there's no real male influence. How do we
Mhm.
teach them?
Mhm.
And you had
Mhm.
Ronald. You had Ronald, so
Mhm.
you had
Mhm.
single mom with a
Mhm.
boy.
Mhm.
How was that, Ron, for
Mhm.
you? How was that for you?
I actually, let me tell you, my children's teenage years was a little bit tumultuous. My son actually went to live with my brother as a
Oh, okay.
teenager. Because during the teenage years, my husband he had an addiction, and it was just I just didn't want him around what was going on. And so my son actually went and lived with my brother. Plus, he was really good at basketball. So there was a school that wanted him to play on their team, Towson Catholic. I don't know if that school is still around, but I was living in Essex at the time, and Towson Catholic wanted him there, and the coaches they were able to got me some kind of grant where they could pay his tuition or what have you. But those high school years, he lived with my brother, and so my brother was an awesome influence on him. And so I was grateful for that. I felt some kind of way because he wasn't with me, but sometimes you just got to make some moves. You got to make some
Mm-hmm.
changes. I like I said, I prayed about it, and I said, well, I'm gonna have to do that. A lot of what was it, Hannah, who gave
Mm-hmm.
Samuel her
Yeah,
son?
yeah, she did.
Sometimes you got to give them away for them to be the person that they're supposed to be in life. So I let my brother, and my brother did an awesome job with him. Um, and that's how it was. I had to give him away for a few years.
But that's
So, and it
major.
worked out.
That's major though, because
Yeah,
you realize it. Some of us don't realize that it's time
yeah.
to do something different.
Well,
We
my mom
didn't
was influential in that decision too, because I didn't. It wasn't something I really wanted to do. You know, what does that say? Because I can't see.
she Tia was saying for her now, she's afraid for her boy because of the time she have to teach him how to act even when dealing with the police, which is really, really
I know.
major.
Well,
It's
yeah, yeah.
really
That's
major
what's going on
for
these
our
days.
African American
American
boys.
males. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hey, again, I have two brothers, but I was about to say, Ronnie, before, because I want to address what Tia said. But what
Mm-hmm.
I was about to say is a lot of us sometimes we have kids and we get overwhelmed
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
we don't know when it's time to use the village
Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
because we
That's
have
true.
a village. So we
Mm-hmm.
get overwhelmed and we fussing back and forth, and
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
you got a whole village.
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
and my story is not your story. That's the
Right.
other part of it. Where
Right.
I had the boys and we had the boys the whole time and they learned from us. You
Yeah.
actually had an outlet.
Yeah.
You had an outlet.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
sometimes I wish I had an outlet.
Yeah.
Let's be honest,
Yeah.
because they're
Yeah.
boys. Because boys are strong, and as they get bigger, they
Right.
realize that they're strong. And if you're
Right.
not strong enough, you're gonna lose
Mm-hmm.
them.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
my brothers say I might have been a little extra strong. I'll just say
Well, I
that.
mean, like my mom, she raised a male child
Hmm.
by herself. My brother came out excellent. I'm very proud of him.
Yeah.
He's recently retired from Baltimore County Police, but
Wow.
he has two sons of his own, and they're doing well. I'm just, I was just glad that my brother was able to step in and do that. Even my sister I mean, it was a lot going on. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
even my sister stepped in and she helped take care of my oldest daughter. I mean, so it was so much that I can't talk about on this broadcast, but
I know.
because of them, helping me with this thing and that addiction that was in my house at the time, they stepped in and it wasn't something that I was very happy about. I'm not going to lie about that, but
Right.
that's what went down. And when I look back on it, I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful because it could have went some other way. It could have been so
Absolutely.
negative, but it turned out positive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. And it brings me to when I had the kids, me and my sisters raised them together. My
Yeah,
mom was sick and everything.
yeah,
And
yeah,
so we raised them together. And
yeah,
that's the thing about family. Like Tia said, family is everything.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
everything. And I don't know if you can see what Tia said. Tia said you were willing to let them go to protect them.
yeah, yeah.
That's
Yes,
major. That's
yes, yes,
major. That's major.
yes,
She said that's
yes,
honorable. And it is because as moms, that's what we do.
yeah, yeah,
Let's be honest, as moms, that's what we do. We do
yeah.
whatever it takes to make sure
Right,
that those kids come out the
right.
best that they can. The
Yes,
best
yes,
that they can.
yeah,
Look,
yeah.
Ronnie, we are already 47 minutes in.
Really? Wow,
Really. Right.
wow.
This happens every week, but I like to always tell people what time it is, because we try to stay about 50 to 55 minutes.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
still, we're already 47 minutes in. Ronnie, you have
yeah,
an amazing story. I know just about all of it.
yeah.
Uh, I would love to have you come back and talk about more of it at some time,
Sure.
because I know how powerful it is.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
know how powerful it is, and
yeah,
I know what a gift you are. So
yeah.
I'm saying that to everyone. Ronnie Maddox, Rondella Maddox is a gift.
God bless
If
you,
you
baby.
don't know, she is a gift. She is one of those people that I've been able to call and talk to in some situations that I can't share with
Mm-hmm,
anyone else.
mm-hmm.
She a church mother now. Let me tell you, don't get it wrong. The church mother come out first. What? But after we get past the what, after we get past the what, the wisdom
Mm-hmm,
that she shares has been invaluable. So I say thank you, Ronnie. I don't
mm-hmm.
think I've
God
ever
bless
told
you.
you, but thank you. Look, she said,
Oh,
God
God bless
bless you,
you,
y'all.
girl.
See, I say she is. She real safe, y'all. We love her. I'm getting there where I say God bless you to everything too. But Ronnie, look, before we end, always try to give each guest a chance to give an inspirational message to young mothers going through, just to the audience. So if you don't mind, could you share a few words of inspiration with the audience?
I would say to any mother who might be struggling, who might be dealing with whatever in their household, I want you to know that God cares about you. He's concerned. Um, and talk to Him. Talk to Him. You might need some strength. You need to talk to the Lord. I think there's a scripture that says, He giveth power to the faint, and to them that have no might, He increases strength. And then there's another one that says he gives peace that surpasses all understanding. You will ask him for peace in your home. You will ask him for the strength for yourself. And as the days go by, you will look up and you'll be like, wait a minute, I got through that situation. Well, I was able to pay that bill. Or even though the bill still ain't paid, but my lights are still on. I mean, the God that we serve is so amazing. Reach out to him. If you don't know him for yourself, reach out to the Lord. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Don't lean to your understanding.
You ready for me to come back?
That's it. That's
Okay.
it.
I didn't want to, I saw the message coming. I didn't want to interrupt the flow of the spirit. Ronnie, I love you so much. I love you so much, as you know. Ladies, look, wait a minute. Rachel always got to show off. She gonna say she didn't do my hair, but I love.
No, people don't know the backstory behind that.
People don't know the backstory, and we're not gonna tell it today, Rachel.
We don't have time, Rachel. We don't have time.
Kim, we love you. I want to say that I was supposed to meet up with Kim when she was here in my neck of the woods, and I missed her. So I want to say, Kim, I love you. I'm coming to Baltimore soon. We got to get together. But yes, these are our sisters. Kim is Ronnie's sister. Rachel is my sister, and we all family, y'all. We are all family. Tia is our other family. She's our other sister. So we all family. But we love you. I love you, Ron. I appreciate Ronnie. I gotta say, Ronnie, I appreciate you. And I'm actually coming to your neck of the woods soon, as you know.
Okay.
I haven't seen you in quite a few months, so it's gonna be fun. Yeah. Guys, we are running out of time as usual, because every conversation is a great conversation on the Lioness Den. It's just what we do. As you know, please don't miss us. We'll be back here next week. Can you say next week with me, ladies and gentlemen? We'll be back here next week. Thanks, Ronnie. We have a high concentration on this channel with mental health. So next week, we will be having our mental health mid-year check-in with these great women on the screen, Miss Ebony Vaughn, Miss Adrienne Holloman, and Miss LaDawn Bridges. Now, I have to tell you, they are all amazing. Right, Ronnie? I mean, you've had a chance to see. They are amazing. And they are willing to answer questions. They are, Sandra said next week. Thank you, Sandra. Next week. They are willing to answer questions. They are amazing. They will also be at the upcoming Life Happens. Guys, so put this date, save the date. Life Happens is coming again. Words getting all twisted. Life Happens is coming again this October the 21st. Registration will open with the third week in June. That's when it will open. Registration will open the third week in June. Registration is only $60. And I'm saying only because what you get at Life Happens is worth way more than $60. Am I right, Ron? Because you were there last year.
It's life changing.
It's life changing. Our theme is Life Happens, Thrive. And that's our theme because a lot of times we get caught at Life Happens. And we don't move past that place. You know how I go, Ron. Life happens. Somebody died and I'm stuck at mommy died and I can't do anything else. I'm stuck at I lost that job and I can't move on. I am stuck. But this year, Life Happens, Thrive is our next segment from last year where we just discussed Life Happens. And so these wonderful ladies, along with Overseer Naya Ann Washington, Apostle Cameron Washington, Dr. Michael Barnes, who else is coming? James the Great Connor will be there for the guys. And Pastor P. Andre Wilson will be there, and Bishop Mark James will also be there. All of these people are coming together as we discuss life happening. Look, if you are in a life happening situation, Don't wait until October. Hit us up next week, and you can contact us on the Lioness Den at the Lioness Den online gmail.com. The reason I'm saying this is because you are never too far, too low, too out there to be helped or to get help.
Mm-hmm.
And so this channel is about being a lifeline when you are going through. So contact us. Even if you have to put a message on the Facebook, put a message in our messenger. We have a team of therapists that we can connect you to that can help you, because some things, yes, we pray, but when we get up, sometimes we need to sit on someone's couch and let them talk to us about what's going on so we can work
Mm-hmm.
these things out.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm telling you today, don't suffer in silence, mothers,
Mm-hmm.
daughters,
Mm-hmm.
fathers. Don't suffer in silence, because there is help for you in our community. That's what we're here for. So join us next week. That's what I started with, and I'm going back to it. Join us next week for mental health checkup, mid-year mental health checkup. Along with that, the week after that, it will not be on this channel, but we will be having a Zoom session where Miss Adrienne Holloman is going to do our mid-year check-in for our goals. So a lot of us made goals at the beginning of the year, and that's just what we did. They still in the book, they still on the side. Well, she's going to help us to open that book up. And for those who haven't made any goals, she's going to help you to start your goals so that you have something for the next 6 months to complete. It's on Zoom, so it doesn't matter where you are located. You can be located in Florida, where Ronnie is. You
Mm-hmm.
can be in Zimbabwe. It doesn't matter where you are. Join us for the mid-year check-in. Check our page out, register. There is a cost, only because we are inviting people in, and we have to pay these people, guys. Nobody is,
Mm-hmm.
and that's not, unfortunately. The Bible say a servant is worthy of his hire. You're
Mm-hmm.
supposed to pay them.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
we have people coming, and we want to give them at least a love offering. So when you
Mm-hmm.
check this out, the registration is $15. Please go to our page, register, come in, hear this amazing, amazing dream coach. I tell you, amazing. Trust me, $15 is a steal to have the dream coach, Adrienne Holloman, speak with you next week. Thank you all. I have to say that. Thank you. You are so supportive on the Lioness Den and in this community on the Lions Den. We're on the Lions Den too today, guys. By the way, we're doing double duty today. But we thank you for just continuing to show up and support us. We are going to have a popcorn drive starting June the 6th. So look out on the Lioness Den page. Buy some popcorn, because we're trying to support Life Happens, and we're trying to support all the other things that we do on this channel. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes, just like mothers need help supporting their kids, we need help supporting this community. So we're not
Mm-hmm.
asking you to give us something for nothing. We're asking you, get
Mm-hmm.
yourself some popcorn. It's good popcorn. You had some, right, Ronnie?
It is. It is good
Double
popcorn.
Good
Yeah.
is good popcorn. I'm telling you, it's a
I
Double
love
Good
popcorn.
fundraiser. So just order yourself a bag or two of Double Good, and your bag of popcorn will give us some funds to make sure that we can afford to continue to do what we do here on the Lioness
Mm-hmm.
Den and on the Lions Den. We
Mm-hmm.
thank you again, Ronnie. Thank you again.
Mm-hmm.
And if you just came on, please watch the replay, because we had a lot of fun today. Did you have fun, Ronnie?
Mm-hmm. I did. I
We
did.
had
I
a lot
enjoyed
of
it.
fun. We had a
Mm-hmm.
lot of fun. So please,
Mm-hmm.
if you're just coming on, check the replay out, and we'll see you next week, same time, 11 a.m., with the mid-year mental health check-in. Bye,
Okay.
everybody.
All right.